Hello my dear beautiful bastards and welcome to The Sims 4. Yes, I decided to build a house, Frederik's Manor, and I got inspired for this house by googling strange houses, and I found a house that seemed interesting, so I picked that design and simply decided to build stuff based off of that design. And I gotta say the roof, I don't like the roof, alright? The roof design in the game and the roof controls, they could be so much better, and they aren't. And that annoys me very much, because the edges, you just can't overlap the edges appropriately. You gotta, you know, there's not enough control when it comes to the roof, and I don't like that. But I kinda like what I did here, you know, going up and down, left and right, and eventually the roof was acceptable. And the roof on the top, on these two little rooms, is relatively normal. I spiked it up a little bit, nothing too crazy, just a little bit. And then I decided to start placing the entrances. And the front entrance has this very fancy Victorian door. I decided to mix between Victorian style and modern style with, you know, I'm not really sure how to explain it. It's supposed to look like it's old, and yet it should have some modern stuff because that fits the story. And over here I wanted to make sure that the only entrance to the second and third floor is through the outside staircase. And I wasn't able to place the second set of staircases because I didn't have any floor underneath. You know, I can't connect them to the wall, which is a bit stupid. I wish we could connect the staircase to the wall, but you have to build the ground and then you can place the staircase. I don't like that. I don't like it. But I was able to place the stairs like this, one of them parallel and one of them vertical to the house. And then I had trouble because I placed the door that had two sides or two blocks, and then the only way to fix that was to place another set of well, a little building underneath or support. And then I just started placing walls all over the place. I don't know, it felt like the right thing to do, just place walls all over the place. And then I replaced that with the fence, which actually ended up looking quite decent. You know, the idea here is to have like balconies for the second and third floor, because you know, when Frederik was building this, he needed to see the scenery because his neighbor was nearby. You know, he's building this house because his neighbor Jens, he constantly complained, and just Frederik had enough, because, you know, Frederik had a lot here, but Jens kept complaining that his neighbors are shit, that the houses in the neighborhood are shit, that nobody can match his house, and Frederik just got sick of it, and then he decided to build this house. Now, I understand that the windows are not symmetrical, or they're not appropriate, you could say, because see, this front side has these Victorian style windows. At least the colors are similar, okay? At least that's correct, right? But this other stuff, I mixed and matched different things, and see, I added this weird, very old style window to the front, because later I also changed the color to, well, a brown color. Brown, because it's supposed to look kinda old, you know, but not super old. Modernistic old style, something like that. See? And immediately it started looking like something reasonably interesting that has this mix between old and modern. At least I think so. At least that's how I feel it. Then I saved the game, obviously, because you gotta save the game, because if you don't save the game, you're gonna die, alright? You're gonna die. You gotta save the game. So what did I do next? I think I went outside. Well, first I wanted to place like a deck. How do you call that? you know, when you have space, so you can place a front porch, elevated front porch. What do you call that? I don't know. But either way, I simply didn't know how to do that, so I didn't do that. And then I started placing stuff outside. I wanted to make the front porch nice and dandy. And well, my idea was to have just a walkway going straight into the house, not like nothing super fancy, not to have mazes and all sorts of shit. Just a nice path. And then I started placing the tiles at start, and I also filled up all of the others with the tiles. But that was my mistake, because I wasn't aware of the fact that you can paint the ground. I honestly don't remember if you could paint the ground before, but I did find out that you can paint the ground. So I will delete all of this later. Well, most of it. And then I placed the nice little fence to fence off the bushes. And then I just experimented with other stuff just to see if it would look good. I don't know. But I did a lot of testing. I just looked left and right all over the place. Looked at the rocks as well, but I just couldn't incorporate rocks here on the front porch. Because honestly, Frederick doesn't really give a shit about the front porch. You know, all of this stuff. All of the stuff that I'm placing now, that is supposed to exist after the actual story. Because you see, everything that happened here happened many years ago, and this house has been abandoned for many years, almost 300 years it has been abandoned. So only now someone decided to come into the house and place items. So technically you could pretend like all that you see here, aside from the bushes were planted by the person who is selling the house. Everything around this has been like that for many years. And you know, some of these trees are nice and beautiful, but some of them have just rotted completely. You have these dead roses, because Frederick was a big fan of roses and he had a lot of roses all over the place. But unfortunately, since he's gone now, those rose bushes went to crap, as well as almost everything else. See, this front porch things, they are definitely new. I also did some adjustments over here so I can add the doors, both on the second floor and the first floor or the ground floor. I know that Americans and English people consider ground floor and first floor different. And I also placed some what is this called? Oh, I don't remember what is it called. Basically, it's little rocks. Little rocks. And I also placed this fence, but as soon as you place the fence, it kinda becomes a room. So I went with this very tall and very grim old school fence, very large fence, so you can't actually, you know, get in. And here is where I realized that you can paint the ground. And if you guys watched my City Skylines tutorials, then you know that I'm a big fan of brushing. Brushing is the most satisfying thing a human being can do, and I love to brush. But in games, I don't brush my hair or anything. I don't brush people's hair. I don't do that, or I don't do that. That's not the kind of brushing that I like. And I finally figured out how to delete the tiles. I had to Google that because I wasn't sure how to delete them. So once I deleted them, I had the freedom. I had the freedom to brushity brush all day long, and I brushed so much. I brushed all over the place. I had to make sure that the ground looked like nobody gave any shits about it for a very long time, and that there is a reason the trees are shit. Because trees can't be shit if the grass is good. Remember that. Quote me on that. I forgot the quote itself, but you guys will remember. Grass cannot look good if the trees are shit. So I had to line that properly. And over here I first deleted some of these tiles on the front porch, but later I deleted all of it because it just didn't fit, alright? It just didn't fit. And I added rose bushes all over the place. I wanted to fill up the edges very nicely. If you remember from my Fallout building videos, the same rules apply here. The corners between the house and the ground, they should have something, because if they have nothing, it kind of doesn't look authentic, it doesn't look very good. And over here I deleted the stuff and added a different shade of dirt, so it needs to be paved. Yet it has not been paved, you know, just these little bushes have been placed. And then I also added these vines or viney things, so it looks a little bit better, you know. They still need to, it's very difficult to get rid of vines, alright? It's not easy to do that. If you ever try to remove vines, it's just not an easy job. And I added some extra orangeness to the big log. And then I stopped doing stuff because I got tired and I lost inspiration. And then I went inside and started placing stuff inside the house. Now Frederick didn't honestly care about his house, he didn't give a shit about it, but he did design the doors of each floor to have like this, to be right next to one another, and I think that looks pretty decent. It's kind of very easy to understand, if you know what I mean. The doors are right next to one another, so it's easy to navigate through the rooms. And then the decorations started. I don't know what to say about the decorations, because I just everything I did here was just thinking what to do and then saying, fuck it, I'm gonna do this, fuck it, I'm gonna do that, fuck it, I'm gonna do that. And over here I actually separated the rooms, so one is the toilet and the other one is the kitchen. So the kitchen is super small, the toilet is super small, and up here this is not the top floor. Here is where it's the sleeping place, and this is the messing around place, and these two are like hallways. And on top it's like a guest, not really not a guest house or a guest room, more like a guest where you call several people and then you go up there and mess around on the top floor where nobody can bother you. That kind of room. I guess you could call it a bar room, haha, hint, a bar room. And then some extra adjustments, nothing too crazy. Save the game, you gotta save the game. If you don't save the game, people are gonna die, everyone's gonna die. And then I realized that the first floor or the ground floor didn't have any windows, and that is because Frederick did not want windows on the first floor, because he was afraid that Jens would spy on him, especially on the first floor, because Jens did not really like to build high up. He liked building a flat areas, flat surfaces and flat things. So Frederick never wanted windows down there. So all of these windows on the ground floor have been added by the person who is selling the house. Just so it's understood, alright? You understand what I'm saying? I hope it's clear. Added some more windows for clarity, or for some light, so it's visible. And then the wallpapers and placing stuff on the walls, I try to align them so it kind of fits to the theme of the room and to the theme of the floor. Obviously, you should kind of try to do that always. And you know, it would be nice to have like floors and walls that are actually the same, you know, same patterns. I don't understand why that doesn't exist. Does it not seem very obvious that such a thing should exist? To me, it seems perfectly acceptable to have that, but I guess to the developers of The Sims, not really. And then a double gate in front, because you have to have a gate, right? You gotta have a gate. You don't want Jens just going around bullshitting everyone. And then some dead vines on the ground floor, just to accentuate the fact that the house has been abandoned for a very long time. But the vines are not on the upper floors because that's just not the case. Alright, that's how I decided, and that's how it's gonna be. Right? Right, very good. And then I realized that the vines show when you lower the walls, which was probably a stupid thing. I probably should have saved the vines for the last, you know, placing them after everything else, but it's fine. There are enough corners to place other stuff. So the first room, the hallway, is very spider based. You know, it has very dark, it's very dark, very spidery, you know, the cobwebs on as the wallpaper, and just I think that the style of I'm sorry microphone, the style of it, I think it's pretty decent. So basically a table, mirror, some counters, so when you go, you know, out and back, so you can place stuff in the counters, you can look at yourself in the mirror before you go, and then the toilet, a very simple toilet, and a black sink with a black shower. All of this is new. You know, this has been placed by the person who is selling the house, not by Frederick, because everything that Frederick placed just went to shit. Alright, it's dead, useless. You can't sell a house with stuff that's 300 years old. It's just not possible. So the kitchen, super small, extremely small kitchen. You have never seen such a small kitchen, and it's also black, very black themed. And here we have a table, and this is the dining room. The person will cook the food, and then they will eat the food. Some other decorations. I spent a lot of time looking at the decorations in the game, because I didn't really spend a lot of time building in The Sims 4. I spent most of my time building in The Sims 2, I believe, or Sims 1. I know that I played the first Sims, like I have probably 1,000 hours in each, but then Sims 3 I didn't play at all, and Sims 4 I am just starting to play it properly. I did build a couple of other houses before, but that was, you know, done very quickly, and I didn't really go through many different options then, and all of different items. But now have checked out all of the stuff, and it's pretty awesome how many decoration items there are. I mean, I placed some bottles in the kitchen, and see cobwebs in the corners of the main hallway. I mean, it's pretty awesome to have such decorations. It kind of does remind of Fallout 4 quite a bit, especially when you're placing the clutter. Just the vibes, the Fallout vibes are there. But it's probably the case in most of the games where you can just place things. It's just that I spent 7 decades building in Fallout, so I relate everything to that game, which really makes no sense. Or maybe it does. Does it make sense? I suppose it does, I don't know. But here, the little gated area where they can have a barbecue. Now this gate, the fence, the big fence, the fence has existed before, and Frederick built that himself, because like I said, Jens really likes the ground and just going through the bushes and trying to see what's going on and possibly enter his premises. So he placed that big fence that is just unremovable. So the person who is selling it simply redesigned that little area and placed a nice little thing that will be useful to whoever comes here. And this is the sleeping room, very red, with a very old clock. I don't know why the old clock. Honestly, can't say why did I place the old clock. I guess it seemed like a good idea. And then a mirror as well, because when you wake up in the morning, you gotta look at yourself, you gotta figure out what the fuck is going on. You slept for 10 years, you don't know what's happening around you. You gotta look at yourself, you gotta realize who you are, what you're doing, Who is your mother? Who is your father? Is your asshole smelling bad? Is it nice? Is it not nice? These are important things. And this is a room where he can mess around. A table with a laptop, and then an aquarium or some shit. And then I kind of aligned these. You know, I wanted to make sure that both can be accessed at the same time, so I needed to align them on the side a little bit. Kind of ruined the look a little bit, but still looked decent. And now this first room, like a hallway entrance or something, I wanted to make sure that it looked like some sort of a chill place where people can sit and watch the TV right in front of this strange window. I don't know what is this window called. There probably is a name within the game, but I forgot completely. And then I placed some more decorations in the room. Now I really like the decorations of this room. It kind of makes sense with the yin-yang carpet or rug, and the wallpaper, like a mountain wallpaper, and then see this Japanese clock or whatever it is. Kinda, I think, looked pretty decent. Then I wanted to place some counters here, it just didn't make sense. Makes no sense. Why would anyone want so many counters there? And then the decorations in this room started, placed a couple of different things. Now the tissue here is in honor of Frederick, because he used to come out on the balcony on the second floor and just marvel at the world. He was a very worldly person. And then on top, now we will disregard the bears and shit. Disregard that, alright? That exists just because it exists. Another rug. Rugs, you gotta have rugs in your house, because without rugs, you know what happens? You know what happens without rugs. A black hole opens, and your entire creation goes into the black hole and disappears forever. And this is the special bar room, where I placed a bar, some stools, and some tables. And I really like the design of this room. It's a room that I would like to visit, you know? For example, if that was a real life bar, I would love to visit it and be in it, because I don't know, but I like wood. You know, this pale and clean style of wood. I really like that. It's just, I don't know why. I don't know what's up with that, but I like it. And I'm a big fan of this room. This is my favorite room that I made in Frederick's Manor. It kind of fits because it's on the top. It's on the top. What was in it while Frederick was here? Well, he had a telescope, he had binoculars and similar things to spy on Jens. And here on in this cellar area, or whatever the hell this is, I went through the filters, and I actually realized you can filter by color. That's very cool. So I placed this sofa, and then I placed Vivaldi's violin, or I don't know. That's, you can figure out what that is for yourself. I don't understand what I built there. For a moment my mind went to Kevin Spacey, and instead of my mind returning, Kevin Spacey's mind returned. So whatever happened there, you know, it's not me, right? It's not me, it's Kevin Spacey. And then I changed the fence to make sure that it kind of fits with the colors. I also changed the stairs. And then I added some more lighting, because we gotta have light. And that, I'm pretty sure that completes the house pretty much, more or less. I mean, there are other decorations that I added, you know, coat hangers and shit like that. It's not too important, but that is the house. And then I went ahead and uploaded it, saved it. This is where I actually made up the story. Up until this point, when I was playing, I had absolutely no idea what to call it. See, I spent 10 minutes thinking of the name, and then I spent another 7 minutes thinking of the description and the story for this particular build. So basically, Frederick built this house and he mocked Jens, and Jens got jealous and annoyed, so he used his time gun and he shot Frederick with his time gun, and Frederick went 1.7 thousand years into the past. And 300 years have passed, and now this is abandoned. It has been abandoned the entire time. Now yes, the story has some plot holes, I am aware of that, but I think it gives nice context to this particular build. And I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know what do you think about it. Would you like to see another build? Feel free to download it if you play The Sims. I uploaded it online, so you can download the entire lot. You can get Frederick, and you can very easily just start living his life again. Maybe create Jens. I will create Jens, and well, I will create his house. I will not create Jens. I will let you guys create Jens. But that would be all. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know, would you like to see more? And I will see you next time. I have been Petard, your glorious lord, and may the blessings of Petardia eternally touch your butt.